Hello, good people of YouTube. Mountbatten here. And today I'm bringing you guys a replay I had in the Thunder, the Tier 10 Premium or Special Ship, depending upon who you ask, British battleship, the Thunderer. Now, I guess before you start commenting, I know there's technically a difference between premium and special ships. The only difference is you pay for one, use the in-game resource to get the other one. And supposedly, one's more nerfable than the other ones, but we've been saying that that doesn't really matter recently to wargaming. Anyway, so yeah, the Thunderer. This video right here, well, this match right here, was recorded to use in the last devblog video. However, this match is a bit of a special one because, as you'll notice right now, in the enemy team there is an FDR. I'm sure you've read the title of this video. That's why you've clicked on it. You're going to get to see some more ridiculous things from the FDR that just really highlights the need for it to be changed or nerfed or removed or something. But that is going to be being on full display here in a moment. So the Thunderer right now, if you don't know, the Thunderer is essentially Old Conqueror with a few twists. Believe it or not, back in the day, you used to be able to get the Thunderer, except it wasn't called the Thunderer, it's called the Conqueror with the 457mm guns chosen. You used to be able to choose between the 16-inch guns of the Conqueror or the 18-inch guns. If you chose the 18-inch guns, you would get 8 18-inch guns. Basically what you see right here, except that accuracy was not there back in the day. Back in the day, you used to be able to hit, from within about 12 kilometers, and just bracket that other Thunderer, within about 12 kilometers of you with Old Conqueror. And I used to use the 18-inch guns on the Conqueror. If you go back and watch some of my older videos, I used to use those guns coupled with the fantastic concealment of the Conqueror and the Thunderer, which back then was even better. It used to be like 12.1, but now it's 12.3. And basically drive up right next to the enemy battleship, shoot them in their citadel, and then drive away, laughing as I use the super heal to repair most of the damage that they had done to me in return. But of course those 18-inch guns disappeared as sometime later we got the Thunderer, the monstrosity you see in front of you right now. However, Thunder is of course getting nerfed quite a bit. Her range is being decreased to 21.3 kilometers from 23 right now, where it was previously nerfed from a base range of 24. But anyway, at its current build in-game, you have a 23 kilometer max range, 8 18-inch guns with normal BBAP, fantastic British BBHE in terms of fire chance, which if you have the fire build on it, is around 65%. And if you do that, you will more than likely set 2 or more fires on an enemy ship at the same time as you do probably in the neighborhood of 10,000 alpha damage with your guns on the Thunderer. And they have super cruiser dispersion, by the way, so these guns are very accurate, as you will be seeing here in a moment. And if you haven't noticed, let me show you, there's 5 Thunderers in this game. 3 on the enemy team, 2 on my team, and I am in, of course, the Thunderer as well. Like I said, this was supposed to be some B-roll for the devblog video, but you will see what happens here in a moment. So right now, this is of course Epicenter, everyone's favorite game mode. If you actually look, our team's actually doing a pretty good job. We got the gearing, well, both gearings are heading to the middle of the cap right now. The Holland in the mid-circle right now, and this Des Moines sitting perfectly still, broadside on to me and my Thunderer, and well, there's that Thunderer AP, just removed literally half of his health in one salvo. Their Thunder didn't appreciate that so much, so he's still slinging HE at me. So the AP on the Thunderer is absolute god tier. And this guy right here apparently doesn't know, even though he's sailing a Thunderer, that sailing broadside onto a Thunderer is a terrible idea, because that'll happen. No citadels there, ladies and gentlemen, but I did almost 30,000 damage to him in just pure pins. Yeah. So he's loaded AP, but I know the art of angling, and I bounced a couple, well, this 2 shells that would have citadeled me. I bounced and just got a couple overpins with the other ones. That's something too about Thunderer. Its armor isn't great. It's coated in 32mm of armor, but its belt armor is still thick enough to where if you angle, you'll bounce just about anything that can do serious damage to you. And couple that with the 10-second base rudder shift time that was, I think, the GK's guns coming at me. Couple that with the 10-second rudder shift time, and if you're paying attention, you can make Thunderer's health go a long way. Now, it does have a fairly low health pool for being a Tier 10 battleship, second lowest, tied with the Conqueror and just above the Bourgogne, popping my heal right there, which, by the way, is an improved heal if you can't tell by the amount of health I am recovering. And this Thunderer is selling broadside to me, so I'd take 30k of his health, too. So, yeah, you can see the awareness that is lacking from the enemy team's battleships right now. We just sunk their Holland, arguing, just torpedoed their Holland. So, I'm out here on this flank because if you look at the mini-map, and, well, from what you've seen so far, their battleships seem to have a willingness to, well, sell broadside to me. And that's because if you look at where the rest of our team's at, the Yami and the Montana and the GK, over on the southeastern side of the map, they have to choose to either go angled to the Yami and the Montana and the Henri and the GK over there, or angled to just me over here. And they're choosing to angle toward the rest of the team, so right now I'm in a cross-firing position to where I get all these beautiful broadsides to shoot at, and here comes our friend, the FDR. So, I've popped my AA right now, and my DFA. That's another thing that Thunder gets that Congo doesn't get, DFAA. So he's selling right through it. He gets one plane shot down. I managed to turn. I think he only ate 2 of his bombs. They start a fire, and his planes are still just sitting in my AA as my DFAA is active, and he just got out of them. So I just did almost 20,000 plane damage there, y'all. And I shot down 1 plane. 20,000 plane damage for 1 plane. Yeah. FDR's planes have an insane amount of health if you haven't been able to guess that just yet. And I'm holding my damage con because I know very well that... Oh, no, I'm sorry, he started 2 fires on me, apparently. Or was that the Thunder I didn't see? Either way. So, I'm holding my damage con because he can very well come back, hit me again, and start another fire or 2. And see right here, I'm trying to sneak my shells over this island and hit that GK because he's the most broadside to me. Plus, I couldn't hit the Thunder. He's a bit too low and a bit too close to the island. And let's see, do we hit the GK? We nick him with a couple, but I aimed a little bit too low. Oh, as you see, the FDR decided to not go after me again, decided to go after our other Thunderer, who's probably having a fun time right now. So I let those fires burn, and with the Thunderer's heal, I mean, of course, with fire damage, it's all able to be healed back. But with the Thunderer's heal, you can really take quite a bit of damage, and if you pop your Thunderer heal at the normal time... Ooh, good hit there on the GK. At the normal time you would pop another battleship's heal, you'd honestly be wasting it. Because while you don't get the ability to print a new ship like you do with the Conqueror, it is a much better heal than just about every... Actually, it is better than every other Tier 10 battleship's heal except for the Conqueror. And here comes this Thunderer back again, selling broadside onto me. I don't know, y'all. And the thing is, the Thunder is a very maneuverable ship. He still could have turned, like, ooh, removed almost 40k there from him. He still could have turned almost up until that last second there, and he would have been able to angle a bit where some of those shells would have missed or would have not gone straight through his citadel. That's the beauty of the Thunderer's rudder. And a lot of people will complain that Thunder is very weak armor-wise and stuff, but again, if you have good awareness and know who's shooting at you, and when they're shooting at you, you have more than enough maneuverability and more than enough armor to avoid most of the damage coming in at you. Like that. Still took 9k, but I was angled, he didn't citadel me. And again, with the hill, it doesn't really matter. Well, I mean, it matters obviously if you're out of health, but you can afford to ride it a little bit closer with that improved heal, like I'm doing right now. I have a 20-second reload on these guns. It's 21k to that man right there. So yeah, I ate 9k from him and juked his shots here. I'm more than happy to have just done 50k to that man in trading just 9k from him in that exchange right there. But anyway, yeah. So with that done, if you look at the scoreboard, we're up almost 5. Oh, well, there goes the booster. Well, we're up now almost 400 points over the enemy team, and we only have 3 ships down to their 4 ships down, and all their DDs are dead. If you look at the middle, we've got quite a few teammates in the middle. We've got a Kremlin. All 3 DDs are in the middle, holding that middle position like they should be doing on this mode. So we have some very good DD players up there. Goes their GKs. So now we're back up over 500 points ahead of the enemy team. So we have a very healthy lead, and it's looking like we've got this. All we have to do is just hold the caps and survive. So right now, there's no need for anyone on our team to be pushing or anything. We just need to hold what we have and stay alive. That's where the FDR comes into play, because he is about to become very relevant here very, very, very fast. So for most of this match, if you've been watching the minimap and watching him, he's been striking either the Thunder in the back or flying over the Holland right now and actually trying to drop on the Kremlin, who's next to the Holland. Holland is the tier 10 pan-European DD. It has quite literally some of the best AA in the game right now, next to like the Austin. And if you notice that FDR's torpedo plane squadron still exists. And I hot got the enemy Thunderer. Any other CV just brushing against the Holland's AA would be more than enough to sentence its planes to death. Managed to tag the stern of the Kremlin right there. But not the FDR. He is still flying quite close to the, and you can see the flak burst there from the Holland. And it's not just the Holland. The Holland's sitting on top, was sitting on top of the Kremlin, and the gearing. So that's potentially 3 ships worth of AA that FDR is flying over, and it had minimal impact to his planes because of the insane amount of health that his planes have. So right now, we are over 600 points ahead of the enemy team. Well, we will be here in a second. Well, we're. But the gearing goes down as well. So we still have a huge lead, even though we've been losing ships. But a big part of why we've been losing ships is because this FDR has been able to just fly over the center circle of the map with 3+ ships there and just not give a crap about their AA at all. Now, you see that gearing right there, our freaking hero gearing? That man, all he has to do for us to win is sit in that smoke and survive. He's sitting in smoke right now. You see the FDR trying to fly over him to keep him spotted. He is sitting on in his smoke on that island, just hoping that the FDR misses his drops, which apparently he has been for now. So anyway, with us losing ships, I'm turning back around and pushing back into the cap to cap the outer ring. Swapped over to HE here because I thought this Montana was going to go ahead and bow tank me. But then he turns broadside, so I'm like, oh, well, crap. And I do have AP queued up after this next round of HE. And yes, I'm still not using my heal because, I mean, look at the scoreboard. We're 25 seconds away from winning at this point with 2 zones captured and several enemy ships on low health. We were so close to winning that I didn't really think it was necessary to pop off the hill and just play it safe when I got a 20-second reload on Thunderer's guns. We're literally 50 points from winning now at this point. But look again, FDR flying over the Holland, literally hovering over the Holland with his planes. Like, what CV should be able to do that? That ship has literally some of the best AA in the game, and he's just flying over it, not giving a care. He lost, what, 2 planes, if that? And now guess what he's going to do now? Going flying over the gearing, with the Hakuru dropping a fighter for the gearing. Doesn't give a crap. Fighters only shoot down as many planes as are in their squadron, so there's no way that Hakuru's planes can even shoot down enough of the FDR's planes for the FDR to care. He literally doesn't have to care at this point. But again, we are 40 points away from winning now at this point. And Thunderer's in the back. Me and Montana are sitting next to each other. And, well, there goes the Thunderer. But still, 90 points away from winning. We are over 500 points up from the enemy team. All we have to do is live. All that gearing has to do is stay in his smoke screen for just, well, what was only 30 seconds. Now I think we're probably around 40 seconds now. All he has to do is live for 40 seconds to do that. But guess what? He's being spotted by the FDR again, which allows us the Venezia to charge in and rush the gearing and sink him. So at this point, I'm like, okay, well, I'm in the Thunderer. We got Montana next to me. Our crew is still around. Most of these ships are at fairly low health, and then I go ahead. I'm like, well, you dummy, you may want to pop your hill now. So I'm popping my hill. Montana gets spotted. He's very low, so it's like, okay, let's take him out. I was trying to get the Venezia out because he was pushing the gearing, but since there's no more gearing, there's no more need to do that. And look at this. Montana and Thunderer sitting on top of each other. I'm popping my DFAA. Montana's next to me. Montana literally has, well, had some of the best AA in the game back in the day, and still has pretty good AA today. Thunder has pretty good AA with DFAA being popped, and boom, 22,000 damage to my ship. 22,000. And he started, I think, 2 fires there. So I have to instantly damage con to put that out and pop the, well, I'm about to pop another hill here in a second. 33 seconds to my next hill. Start a fire on the Montana. But since he did nuke literally half of my remaining health, I am doomed to go down. And yes, if I had popped my hill a bit earlier, I would have probably been able to survive for, well, what would either be one more run from the FDR or a couple more hits from this Venezia, but there I go. So, some pretty stupid stuff from the FDR there. Look at my plane damage, 32,000 damage, 32,500 damage to planes, and I shot down 5 planes. And look at this. FDR coming to strike the Montana. He's, what, down 1 plane? Oh, he still hasn't lost another plane. Oh, there you go. Lost 2 planes. And look at that torpedo drop. How are you supposed to avoid that? It's impossible. It's literally impossible to avoid that torpedo drop. It's such a ridiculous ship. Like, he single-handedly won them the game. If he wasn't able to just hover over the Holland and the 2 gearings and the Kremlin and keep them spotted for his team to shoot at there at the end, we would have won this. I mean, they were 500 points behind. 500 points. I think 600 at the biggest gap between our team and their team. And just because it's an FDR, it just... He didn't care. He did not care about our team, about our AA. He was able to get in there and do what he needed to do to survive. And the thing is, too, with that drop on my Thunder, like you guys saw, 22,000 damage and 2 fires. 22,000 is a huge hit for a battleship to pull off. But for a battleship to pull off, several things have to go right for a battleship to pull that off. The target has to be, like you guys saw in that game with the battleships I was shooting at, either sitting broadside onto you, not paying attention at all, or you have to be blessed by RNGesus to have that happen. The FDR can do that every single run. All he has to do is get his planes pointed in the right direction. If he's not like coming just straight across their ship with his reticle not parallel with the ship, he'll do that damage every time. And you guys saw with his torpedo bombers, he took like 20k off of the Montana. That's with 2 of them not even hitting. Like, it can do that every single run to a ship, and not care about the AA. And how do you dodge that? How do you dodge that much munitions from the FDR? It's ridiculous. And again, yes, I know if I would have popped my hill earlier, I would have lived a little bit while longer, but it really wouldn't matter because nothing can stand up to an FDR. If an FDR wants you to die, he can kill you, and he can do it in like 2 or 3 runs. Like, it's such a ridiculous ship. It needs to get nerfed or changed or removed from the store or something, because it's frustrating. Like, you cannot fight against it. You just die. And that's why when I'm playing MVR and I see an FDR on the enemy team, I'm going to go for it, because your best defense is to take it out of the game before it can kill your team, just like what we saw there. That's how you win games in the FDR. Just make sure the game lasts long enough and let the FDR wipe out the enemies for you, and boom, Bob's your uncle, you won. My team was doing everything you're supposed to do to counter a CV. They had 4 ships stacked on each other in the middle, and he still just flew over them and kept them spotted. Like, that's 4 overlapping cones of AA. What more do you need? That's a third of the team. 2 of the best AA battleships in the game. Literally selling... I think my men could have jumped over to the Montana's deck. Like, what more? What are you supposed to do? You can't do anything. The ship's that broken. Anyway, guys, I just wanted to share this match with you to show off some more ridiculousness of the FDR. I know like 99% of people who watch this already agree with me. I'm kind of preaching to the choir, but it's always fun to see how stupid this ship is. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed, make sure to drop a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. We're on our way to 25,000 subs. We are under 500 away from that goal, guys, and I cannot thank you guys enough for that. I am planning on doing a fairly big giveaway when we get to 25,000, so make sure you guys keep checking back for that. Other than that, guys, hope you're having a wonderful Monday. Hope to catch you guys in the next one.